Certainly, there's a state interest in preserving life, Your Honor.
If a patient wishes to refuse medical treatment based on religious
First
practices...
of all, we don't even know that.
Objection, Your Honor. You can't preface your second point with first of all.
This woman has forsaken Christian Science. We have no assurance...
But according to her son, she's recommitted herself...
A son who might be a suspect if we determine there was foul play. We're dealing with a potential homicide.
Well, if the goal is to charge homicide, it makes little sense to keep the victim alive. I could be wrong.
I object to the smugness, Your Honor. A human life is at stake here.
The family of Della Farian is here today saying it is her wish not to be kept alive on a respirator.
And it is simply way too early to make that call. She could recover.
The issue isn't recovery. It's religious freedom, which is sacred in this country. Unless, of course, you're Muslim.
I'm going to have to cut you both off. We've just received word from the hospital. Mrs. Farian has evidently regained consciousness.
Excellent.
She's very weak, of course, and quite sedated.
Can I talk to her?
For a minute or two. I'd like her to rest.
Mom? Mom? It's me. Bernard. Bernard. Doctors say you're gonna be just fine. You need a rest, Mother. My Bernard. He hit me on the head. I think with a skillet. Oh, Ma, what are you talking about? You fell. You tried to kill me.
She's a chatty Kathy.
Call the police?
I'm afraid so.
What do I do? What do I do?
Well, Brazil comes back to mind. Bernie, listen to me. If you were overcome, like you say, when this happened...
I was. I obviously had problems with her, Mr. Shore, but I truly never intended to kill her. I did not consciously...
If we could show heat of passion...
I've never broken a law in my life. She just got me so enraged. God. My life is over.
Mr. Farian?
What?
I'm very sorry to tell you, your mother has passed away.
I beg your pardon?
She went back to sleep, and she just quietly passed.
I thought perhaps I'd be relieved if she died. But the truth is, she's all I really had. I lived with her. I can't believe she's gone.
She looks at peace. Though she did on the kitchen floor as well.
Mr. Shore, can you make room for the possibility that I both killed my mother and I'm devastated over losing?
I can.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Bernard Farian?
That's me. Kidding.
I'm Bernard Farian.
You're under arrest for the murder of Della Farian.
Oh.
Please place your hands behind your back.
Yes, sir.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to hire an attorney and have been present before any question. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you by the court. You also waive your right to silence and make any statements you wish. Understand these rights and be ready.
Commonwealth versus Farian, charge of murder in the first.
Alan Shore appearing for the defendant. Will waive reading. I'd ask that my client be released on his own recognizance.
Opposed? The man is charged with homicide. Bail would certainly...
He has no record, Your Honor.
He would be a threat to society.
Nonsense. He only kills mothers, allegedly, and he's fresh out of them.
Bail is set at $1 million. Let's conference tomorrow at 9 a.m. We'll set up a trial schedule.
Wait, 1 second, Your Honor. It seems there's been a terrible mistake. My client never should have been arrested.
Because...
There's no evidence. According to the police report, there's been no determination of cause of death, no witnesses.
The victim identified the defendant as the killer.
That would be hearsay.
It was a dying declaration and therefore an exception to the hearsay rule.
For the dying declaration exception to apply, the declarant must know he or she is about to die when making the statement. Mrs. Farian was told by the doctor she was going to survive. She never thought for a second she was going to die.
Even so, Your Honor, for her to incriminate her own son would be a declaration against her interest, which would also qualify as an exception to the hearsay rule.
I refer, Your Honor, to Officer Coulier's interviews with the neighbors noted at the bottom of the page. Mr. Farian was reportedly verbally abused by his mother. She would blame him for anything that went wrong in her life. Well, here again, she was blaming him for the bump on her head. It was not a declaration against her interest, but just more of the same. The court cannot be satisfied as to its reliability. The hearsay rule very much applies.
Is this all you've got, the statement of the victim?
We'll get more.
Well, when you do, you can refile. Right now, you've got nothing. Victim's statement is inadmissible. The charges against Mr. Farian are dismissed without prejudice.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
It's been an exciting week.
You think they'll be back for me?
Frankly, Bernie, I don't think they'll get the evidence.
Which I can see brings you right back to.
I can't believe it.
May I say something else? I see in you, Bernie, an innately kind person. A man whose docile, gentle nature was worn down by a relentlessly mean, dark-hearted woman. I could be wrong, but I'm hoping it's the kind, gentle person who goes on from here, not the one who swung that skillet.
Oh, I promise you, with all my heart, you don't have to worry about that.
Bernie, through your grief, which I know is very real, try to see this as an opportunity. For once, finally, you get to live your life free of Mother.